3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome to 321 Liftoff. My name is Wayne Belden, and I'm the president of Belden Communications, publisher of the Space Coast Fun Guide and SpaceCoastFunGuide.com. And we'll be bringing you 321 Liftoff every week, talking about tourism in Florida's fabulous Space Coast. With me are your hosts, Pete Lynch, known as Promo Pete, the Director of Business Development for the Space Coast Fun Guide and SpaceCoastFunGuide.com, and Bonnie King, former Deputy Director of the Space Coast Office of Tourism, as well as past President of the Florida Film Commission. Pete, Bonnie, we are thrilled to have you both as co-hosts of 321 Liftoff.
Hey, everybody. What's happening? Happy Friday.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one today, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but today we are going to the dogs.
There you go.
That's right, dogs and cats. We are here at the Brevard Humane Society Adoption Center, where they will be opening a new Bed and Biscuit for your pet.
Cute.
Yes, a Bed and Biscuit, where you can get a well-deserved staycation if you need to leave town, or if you're a visitor that's going on a cruise and you have your pet with you. We're going to be talking to Theresa Clifton, the executive director of the Humane Society, who came up with this fabulous idea for your VIPs. That's very important pets. How great is that, right?
That's insane.
And 321 Liftoff is brought to you in part by our friends at Beachside Hotel and Suites in Cocoa Beach. That's the perfect place where you can stay while you make plans to visit the fabulous Space Coast area. But before we get to this great conversation, let me welcome my co-host, Bonnie King. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and it's good to be here. And we all know that our pets are our family.
Absolutely.
And whether you're going to go on a vacation and you can't take them with you, or if you're coming here for a vacation and going on a cruise, that you know that you can take and you can leave your baby right here with the people that are going to have a very safe environment and a happy time. This B&B could also stand for balance and bliss, because when Theresa tells you what services are going to be provided, we're going to see what kind of a lifestyle that is just as close to their home as possible. And joining us today again is John Belden, Vice President of Belden Communications. Hey, John.
Hey, how are we doing, guys? So I was actually talking with Theresa earlier, and she mentioned to me there's a reading time for the pets, which, how cool is that, right? So children actually can come in and play with the dogs and cats and then read them a story, which is so cute.
That's
honestly.
awesome.
Really is.
Yeah.
I want to do that myself, honestly. It's a great way to relax the animals, a wonderful way for the kids to help them read better and actually feel comfortable doing so. I think that's a real great way to get them reading in a fun way. So great kudos to you there, Theresa.
Absolutely. So let's get started, and let's welcome Theresa Clifton, the Executive Director of the Brevard Humane Society. Welcome, Theresa.
Thank you.
This is great. This is a great place. You plan to open when?
Our soft opening will be the end of February, beginning of March.
Okay.
Well, I got to tell you, it's really impressive. I've heard the talk about Bed and Biscuit for a while, and when we first came in here today and actually got to walk around, I was absolutely impressed. It's a lot of times you hear about something, and when you get there, you're not sure. We come in here, it is absolutely awesome, and these pets are going to have a great time.
And I love it when you walk in, it feels like you're outside. You see the blue walls, the green grass. Your terrazzo floor is done in a green, so it looks like grass. Got clouds in the sky. So everyone's going to have that feeling of being outside. And then you took us in the back, and we got to see some of the rooms that they have. They have
VIP
rooms. They have standard rooms. So tell us what the animal is going to be catered to.
Okay, so first I would just like to say thank you, Bonnie, because this was actually a brainchild that started in my brain from Bonnie's brain.
Oh, well, how about that?
Over a glass of wine.
I knew wine had to be involved.
No way.
I knew wine had to be involved.
Yeah, this building was donated to us, and we had 5,000 square feet, didn't know what to do with it in the back, and my friend Bonnie says, hey, this would make a great place to keep people's pets. And I'm thinking, how would I do that? But that little nugget turned it into Brevard's Bed and Biscuit. And I can't say that I'm any happier than what it's turned into. And yes, I'm looking at it through the eyes of a dog.
There you go.
That's a
I
great
love it.
name, by the way. That's
Bed
a
and
great name,
Biscuit.
Bed and Biscuit. It's a beautiful tie-in with, bed and breakfast, and why not?
Absolutely.
Fantastic idea.
So our whole focus with the Humane Society is taking care of animals. As you know, we take care of about 200 animals on a regular basis. And the goal was to give your pet a staycation while you're on vacation. Whether you live here or you are coming in from out of town, there's always a need to find a safe place where your pet will have a good time while you are out having a good time. So as you walk into the facility, there is a blue sky, and it does have white clouds on it. And you'll notice our doors are painted brown. Brown represents the fences.
Okay.
And then the green terrazzo is our grass. And it's not solid green because grass is not solid green. So
Wow.
when a dog walks in, we want them to feel relaxed, like they're going into the outside. And like these two little munchkins I have over here, they bark when they feel caged. They're not barking right now because they don't feel caged, even though they're in a little container.
I love it. Laverne and Shirley are very cute over there, by the way.
How cute is that? Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, guys, this is awesome.
Absolutely. So when you bring your pet in, this area that we're sitting in is our reception area. It is totally open. We want people to feel comfortable leaving their pets with us. Pets are part of our family, and therefore we have an open desk that will be right where we're sitting with inside play, and then we have an outside play area as well. But going into the kennel area, which of course we won't call it a kennel, we'll be calling it our rooms like you do in a hotel.
Nice.
And we have an economy suite. Which our economy suites, they're nice. They just don't have any of the amenities. But
I love this already.
Can
Can I stay here?
I can tell you the economy suite already looked really nice.
Right?
I think your wife already asked us about that.
Take them for the week.
Yeah. So we step up to the standard suite, and our standard suites are a little bigger. And then you go into the deluxe suites, which we add an outside patio area, private, of course, for our canine friends to have a place to go stretch their legs outside if they feel like it. And then there are the VIP suites. There's only 5 of them, so of course they are the most expensive, but well worth it for your canine companion because
They have a TV.
the
Are you
VIP
serious?
suites, each one has their own TVs to keep them occupied,
Oh my
along with the other amenities of their own private porch that they can go in and out of at their leisure. And they have their.
I'm already picturing like this white fluffy diva dog on a big pillow having this whole room to herself. That's
well,
right.
wait till you. Well,
I'm the queen.
And then they have. we use Kuranda beds, which are like little hammocks for them to sleep in.
so they're not sleeping on the floor. They have their own little bed. Everybody, even in the, all of them have their own beds, which is great.
Even our
This is
economy suites have
Yes.
that. So they in the VIP suites, they also have their own light and ceiling fan in case they get a little warm.
Oh my gosh.
And we have TVs and security cameras. So when you leave your pet in the VIP suite, wherever you go, you can plug in a number and you can watch your pet
man.
in the room.
I can already tell you right now, you're gonna have my animals. I mean, this is just
so
done.
it's so great.
That's
And then-
awesome.
Yeah, and of course we have an a la carte menu where if you want to add some, extra time for them to get a little story time, or if they want to get in our beautiful new grooming room where we have our state-of-the-art bathing area to give them a little fluffy bath and clip their nails, and of course the extra walkies and treats. Treats are important.
Yes,
Of course.
we love treats. I mean, pets love treats.
Yeah, the pets too. Pets too.
Yeah, so looking through the eyes of an animal is how we designed the facility around their needs. I have had people tell me that, oh, green, why do you have the floor green? It's like, okay, if you were a dog, you come in, you are looking at the floor, and green is very, it's soothing, it's important. So
It's comfortable. That's what they're used to, right? So I mean,
Right, exactly.
That's familiar.
They're the ones that are going to have to stay here, not you. You're taking off to go to the, Kennedy Space Center or on your cruise or
Absolutely.
wherever you're going. or just, on a vacation, wherever
great.
you want to go. This place is
I-
absolutely amazing.
I love the idea of the story time, and I know the afternoon cookies and whatever,
Oh,
cookies
yeah.
and milk or whatever. But I know in the past, though, you've had the reading with the kids with the cats, because I've come and I've seen children
Yes.
sitting in the cat room and they're reading to cats, and the cats are all like either laying on their lap or whatever.
That's
it's
awesome.
it's so nice. You do such a great job, Theresa.
Well, thank you. Basically, what we're going to be doing in our Bed and Biscuit is just a step up from what we do in our adoption center in Cocoa and Merritt Island. We always have treated our animals like they are part of our family. So, yeah, especially during the summer, kids get a little rowdy. They don't have anything to do. They can come into the cat room and take a book and sit and read out loud. It helps them, makes reading fun. And the cats curl up in their lap. They come sit around.
I love that.
They
man.
love that
That's-
attention. And then we have some dogs that if they're, they haven't been in this shelter very long and they're scared, kids will go sit in the dog run with them and pet them while they're reading a book. So it helps the kids learn how to read
Sure.
and pronounce. And the dogs
A lot less pressure
Dogs
too, I
love
think,
the
if you're
attention.
reading to an animal versus, an
Absolutely.
adult.
So, we do that as well. So it just made sense that we would do it for other people's pets. And of course, I do have an ulterior motive. Everything I do that's animal related has an ulterior motive. And that would be if you want to go on vacation and that keeps you from having a pet in your home. My goal is to put a pet in everybody's home. So I have to remove all of those things that are called excuses to not having a pet. And one of them is, well, when I go on vacation, I just don't trust anybody to take care of my cat or dog as well as I do. And so now I've removed that.
So there's no reason why. Now, it's also interesting to note that because of COVID, that you don't have a slew of dogs or whatever up for adoption, but you have some dogs, but a lot of people have adopted dogs and cats because they wanted company because of COVID.
Actually, that is a very interesting point. And there's been some controversy about as to whether or not when COVID's over, all these animals are going to come flooding back in. But I've only been doing this job 17 years, so I'm not an expert. But from what I have experienced, I will tell you that once an animal is in a home for about 3 months or longer, they only come back if the living condition changes, and it's usually the human has a health issue and they can no longer care for them. Rarely is it because, I got this job and now I just got to get rid of this animal.
They've bonded with them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes, in the last year, and we were very concerned because thank you, Governor, because we are an essential service. We couldn't close down. We've done all of the protocol that the CDC requires, and I'm really happy that masking and social distancing and things are working because we've managed to avoid all of that unpleasantness. And we've had an incredible year of adoptions.
Great.
I've never seen our shelter so empty, and it's not because people they're just leaving them out in the streets. We are seeing this across the state of Florida because we take animals in from kill shelters. I mean, we take them from Puerto Rico, we take them from South Carolina. We're, areas where they have too many because it's no longer acceptable to humanely euthanize or kill a healthy adoptable animal. There's so many options now. So we're taking them in, and we normally hold about 200, and to date, there might be 50 animals in my shelter right now.
Wow.
And that is amazing. And our numbers from last year to the year before, the adoptions, if not more, are the same. So we're really excited about that, and it's a wonderful thing.
Do you think it's because people are home more and they're realizing they need some more attachment? I mean, you get a warmth when you have an animal in the home. It's just a calming.
Absolutely. I think that aside from having a pandemic that has freaked almost all of the intelligent people in the world out.
I like how you said that. Thank you.
And, made us be very, very cautious. It has also done something that no one would have expected, and that is it's forced us to spend more time at home with our loved ones. Mm-hmm. And people who don't have a loved one that live alone, the family pet has become part of their family to where they depend on it. And we've had people come in who, they weren't sure, and we're like, well, we're not a one-stop, no turn back. If it doesn't work out, we want the animal to come back to us, because we're trying to place it for forever. And we've seen a significant decrease in animal returns because the person is spending more time with them, and they're able to fit them into their home life in a more leisurely manner than normal, especially with dogs, because dogs have to learn the behavior of the human in order for them to fit successfully. And when you adopt a dog and you take it home and you're like, okay, well, I'm going out to dinner, so just stay, and I'll be back. Well, they're bored, so they're going to tear stuff up, and then people are going to bring them back.
Right.
But now, well, they're not going out to dinner because of COVID, so now they're suddenly finding themselves spending a lot of time with them. I think it's helped the human-human bond, people and their children. They spend more time with their family at home and their kids, which I think is awesome, because there's a lot more family unity that it needs to be done out there. And then the family pet is part of that. And so we expand on that, of course, with a lot of the other things that we do. But as far as adoptions go, it has been remarkable. And
well, let's just hope. Let's just hope now that, you got like 40 dogs or whatever that are ready for adoption in your Cocoa Cox Road area, correct?
Yeah.
So we can invite people to come in and
absolutely, and not just
check out the dogs.
We have cats too.
Don't forget the cats.
Right.
I have 2 cats.
I keep staring over here at Laverne and Shirley, and I just like,
yes.
How would you not want one of those, running around your house or to play with you? And I think it's interesting that you bring pets from out of state here, because everybody wants to come to the Space Coast, right? So how about like a upgrade for a pet if it's, sitting in a cold state, up north or whatever, and they're like, I got to come to Brevard County and the Space Coast, and I'm going to get to live. It's like they're coming to luxury down
to the
here.
best place. I can remember when we had hurricanes or whatever, and I remember Theresa saying, I'm traveling up to the Carolinas, whatever, to pick up dogs because of the hurricane.
Sure.
And that's just another thing that you do. The other thing, I could be riding in a car with Theresa, and she'll see a dog on the side of the road, just like looking around, okay? And she stops immediately to make sure, does it have a home? Is it left by itself? And then we trudge around to find out who owns the dog.
Don't leave your dogs outside when Theresa's around.
Exactly,
Well,
it's just to say again, Theresa, that you are the perfect person to be, to be leading the charge and taking care of our animals that are here. So.
I was going to say, our area is definitely blessed for having you in it. You're so community oriented, besides the pet, you're at every function, at everything, and you're always spreading the good word of, what good ownership of pets can be. And I love hearing that.
And let's talk about some of the special events that you do with the dogs.
Because there's some really cool stuff.
Very cool stuff. And one of the ones that's coming up is your dog surfing.
Oh my gosh.
That people don't even believe. They say, no, dogs
John
don't surf.
John and I have been talking about that. Like,
it's crazy.
I can't surf.
No, but I can't potty train my dog. And these people have their dog surfing, and it's just mind-blowing.
And they love it.
Well, I have to tell you that anything that humans do, animals, they can pretty much do it too.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
I mean, have you seen the dog that skateboards? That's really cool.
With the sunglasses on?
I haven't got to the skateboard part yet, but I got to tell you, the surfing part is quite phenomenal, and it just warms my heart to see people enjoying life with their pets, doing things they love, because there's now tandem.
Oh my gosh.
Dogs, people surfing.
Tandem.
Yeah, like you and your dog.
Yeah, but how
on
cool
the
is
board.
that? Seriously, you're talking about bonding, because they are. I mean, our pets are like our children. I mean, they really are. I come home, and the cats, even the cats, they come, they greet me. They probably want treats, but I don't care. I'll take it. They're greeting me.
We know John has some food.
This guy ain't missing too many meals. But the fact of the matter is that when I come home and I see the animals, it puts a big smile on my face. The kids maybe they're at school. And so having the pets, and so being able to do that tandem, why not? That's cool as heck.
Absolutely.
So when is that? When is that going to be?
Every year on Easter weekend, we started this about 8 or 9 years ago. We participate with the East Coast Surfing Festival.
Okay.
I believe it's been going on like 56 years.
Yeah.
And it's out in front of Laurie Wilson Park now. And so this year, Easter weekend falls on April 2nd and 3rd. So on the Saturday, the 2nd, the people surf. And on the Sunday, the 3rd, the dog surf.
I love it.
All right, guys. So if you're coming to the Space Coast area
Absolutely. You gotta
on
mark it
April
down.
3rd, or if you live here and you
Yes.
haven't seen this is absolutely. I saw some videos. I think you showed me before. Like, if you haven't been here and you haven't seen this on Sunday, April 3rd, you need to be at Laurie Wilson Park to come watch this because this is really cool.
You know what we got to do? We got to get Kelly Slater and his pet out there. I mean, how cool would that be, right?
That'd be cool.
I would love to have Kelly Slater come out or his wife because I know they're animal lovers. I'd love to have them come out and be a judge because judging is the hardest part.
Oh yeah, how do you?
Of the dog surfing. This is our East Coast Dog Surfing Championships. And last year, the event had to be canceled because of COVID.
Sure.
And we had some dogs from the West Coast out in California that were looking at coming over and trying to take the title from.
Away from
you
the
can't have those California surfer dogs coming
and
over
the
here
other
and taking
thing
our
was,
title.
I got to say, the year before that, when we were judging, one of the dogs actually did like the hang 10 or whatever, where they put their feet or the paws over the top.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, they're really showing off now.
Our reigning champion the past 2 years was a little dog named Surf Pig. And Surf Pig is actually...
Surf Pig?
Yeah.
Surf
The
Pig.
dog.
Surf Pig, yeah. And
Okay.
it was a girl terrier, and she was a three-legged dog. And she was a phenomenal surfer. And
Can you imagine us getting surf lessons from a dog? 'Cause
and
that's
I'm
a-
saying was because unfortunately she passed away that summer.
Yeah.
And so last year we were going to do a doggy paddle out for her in her memory, but she was just an awesome dog, and her human companion John, he's a trooper. I'm sure that he now is surfing with another dog in her memory. But so this year we are going to do the doggy paddle surf out for memory of Surf Pig, because now she can't be the reigning champion because of course she passed
So we'll
away.
have a new
Look,
reigning
Cocoa Beach is
champion.
known for legendary surfers, and
Yes.
Surf Pig, two-time champion.
Is there an
you know,
Instagram for Surf Pig? There should
Yeah.
be in the memory
she's
of it.
she is now a part of the legend.
That is so cool.
I want to see a Surf
Of
Pig
East Coast.
statue right next to Kelly Slater over there. And that's one of the
That'd be kinda
landmarks,
cute.
obviously, in Cocoa Beach is seeing that.
Well,
Speaking of like paddle outs and dogs that have left to go to the great beyond, you also have at your place in Cocoa at the Humane Society there, you have a chapel. And let's talk about that, because when your dog passes away, you have a wonderful place for people to come, serenity, caring, and everything. Can you talk about that?
absolutely. It is called our Heavenly Paws Chapel and Cremation Services. We do for the public and privately. We do it for veterinarian establishments as well, when people take their pets in and discover that they have a terminal illness and they are suffering. We are allowed to help them pass without pain, which is very kind, because it's sad. We can't do it for humans, which I think is horrible, but that's my opinion. I'm entitled to it.
It's a whole other story.
Whole other story.
Okay.
But for the animals, we can help them, whether they are mentally or physically suffering. We can help them pass to the Rainbow Bridge, and we do that on site at the Cocoa Center, is the physical location of our chapel. It's a beautiful little area. It has a nice little memorial garden out front. If you walk on the memory walk, you will find Surf Pig's name out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then about people get a brick when their pet dies, they get a brick and it's laid out there. Is that what that is?
Yeah, we have in the memory walk. We still have opportunities for naming. They say as long as your name is remembered, you still exist.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Never
that's why
forgotten.
people name buildings after themselves and driveways and roadways. So for our
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm thinking about, okay, what can I name after me?
yeah, so we
A bottle
do
of
that.
wine. This is the Bonnie.
So we have the chapel that we do offer funeral services for your pet. You can prepay up front, so when that time comes, because everything that's born dies, and that's just a fact of life. And so when you have that happen, sometimes it's very stressful emotionally. So we allow people to do it ahead of time. So when that time comes, all you have to do is bring your pet to us, and we take care of them. We do a multiple of services, one of them being if you don't want your pet back, we will spread their ashes out on the shelter grounds. We come from the earth, we go back to the earth.
Yeah.
And if you want to keep your pet, we have a number of ways that you can take the cremains and put them in a urn or a nice box, or even jewelry that you can put their ashes in.
Oh,
I have
so
seen
cool.
that,
That's
with
nice,
people
yeah.
having that. That's really neat.
Yeah.
It's all good. I just want to say, I know when my dog passed away, she passed away at the house, and
Sure.
so I called Theresa and said, Junebug has passed, and she said, don't worry about a thing. Next thing I know, the car came up from the Humane Society. 2 guys got out, came into the house, treated Junebug with such respect, put her on a little bed,
Yeah.
covered her up and everything with real dignity, carried her out to the car, put her in there, and then took care of her. So I will never forget
I'm
that.
getting
I mean,
chills
it
right
was
now.
it was
Yeah,
really good. I don't want to be a real downer, but I mean, I'm just saying, when it comes to your pet, and you've got the chapel there, you've got a beautiful, the beautiful area there to be remembered and everything. You do a great job on that.
That is a great service
So
too,
it
because
is a
as
wonderful
fun
service.
as a pet is to your family, when it
Right.
goes, it is that equally that difficult. So to
Right.
have something as special as that, to
Yeah.
help you pass that time is really nice.
I would like to mention that Brevard County does not have a pet cemetery either, and that is something that I plan on rectifying in the very near future.
You'll get it done. I believe
Oh,
it.
when you put your mind something to it, we
I
know
believe
it's
it.
happening.
On the back of the chapel, we have a barn, and behind the barn there is some property that we haven't developed yet. And so we started clearing it, and the Heavenly Paws Memorial Sanctuary is forthcoming. It will be a place where people who live in an apartment, townhouse, condo, or they don't own their home, if they don't want their pet cremated, or if they do and they want them to be somewhere they can come visit them, we will have that pet cemetery.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, it is. I know it's sad, but we all have to think about one day, it's we're
Right,
all
it's
going
gonna
that way.
exactly.
So at least it'll be a nice place for them to go and visit their pet and have a memorial area that will forever be kept up, because the Humane Society owns the 5 acres, so you don't have to worry about somebody coming and developing it into whatever.
Right, whatever. But let's talk too about how, because in order to keep this place going, you have to rely on donations. And I have to say, I know that you have a lot of events that you do to get money.
Some fun ones too.
Really
Oh,
fun
yeah.
events
Yeah.
and everything. So let's talk about some of those events that you do to raise money. Even people who die, they've left you their houses, they've left you their cars.
Absolutely.
Which it's just amazing that they're able to do that. So let's talk about that and how you raise money for these animals.
Okay, so up front, I'll say that we have about a $2.2 million budget every year, and we start with 0, and we are not part of the tax base. So we exist solely from the community's donations and services that we offer. And having said that, it's important that the community know that every dollar donated to the Humane Society or spent at the Humane Society in any way, shape, or form, 8 cents of it goes to administrative overhead.
That's amazing.
The other 92 cents goes
That's a
directly
really high number.
to help the animals in our care. We are very conscientious of that, and it's important to me that people know if you donate, like what Bonnie was talking about in the last year, Mr. Polta passed away, and he left everything he ever was to the Humane Society, which was a house on Merritt Island and a vehicle. We have our Molly Mutt thrift shops, and so all of his furnishings and everything we sold. People got great deals, and we got money to take care of the animals.
Sure.
And he had a car that it was worth about $5,000, and instead of us just selling it outright, we did a drawing, and we sold tickets to it for $25, and I'm sure the winner would be so happy to tell you how happy he is. He paid $25 for this car, and we
awesome.
raised $38,000. So
Great.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Great.
yeah. Well, and these are the types of things that we do in fundraiser-wise to make sure that we're getting the most bang for the buck, because people work hard for their money, and I want them to know that if they give or leave their money to the Humane Society, that we do not squander it. We are really thrifty in how we utilize it. And so I'm really proud of that. And then, of course, when you do fundraisers, they should be fun, because that's called fundraisers, fun.
Right.
So some of them that we do are our most popular one. I mean, we've talked about the dog surfing, which is awesome. And hopefully everybody will come out to that on April the 3rd and wear their bunny ears, because we're going to do a bunny paddle out for Easter too.
Oh, that's cool.
It'll be fun.
You're very creative. I love that.
But our biggest one is our Tuxes and Tails Gala.
Yes.
And that actually was created for our 60th anniversary. And we are now in our 69th year, and we keep doing it because people love it, and it is so much fun. We have a red carpet, and people get dressed up, and then they bring their pets and dress them up, and so they feel like, those pets that have homes are giving back to those that don't. Last year we had to cancel it because of COVID, but the year before it raised the most, and it was like $100,000.
It's amazing,
Wow.
isn't it?
Got some great people.
And
that
Really
wanna get
great
involved.
people. They
Because
just
people do
getting
love their
dressed
pets,
up.
and
Absolutely.
and that's a
Yeah.
big part of it.
And it comes with a fabulous meal and auctions and all kinds of dancing and entertainment. Some of the entertainment happens with the adoptable animals that we bring.
I'm sure.
And the animals that people bring with them, their pets. One year somebody brought their rabbit, and it was on a leash, and it hopped right along. It was very sociable.
Okay.
We had somebody once bring a pig, their little pet pig on a leash, which is kind of cool. Mostly it's dogs. We have had a cat on occasion, but usually they're deaf, because cats stress easy. So deaf cats don't really care, because they don't hear all the noises that would normally freak them out.
Yeah.
But of course, that's our high-end event. It's like $100 a person, and we have a maximum of 300 people. And when I say maximum, it's because when you go somewhere, it's hard to fit all the people and the animals in at once. But we're really happy to have that problem, and we're hoping this year on August 28th that everyone will come out and participate with
Good.
it.
So you are planning to do it. So that's good, because that
We
must
are.
have been really tough for this year to be minus $100,000 that you got
Yes.
from the previous year. So I can
Absolutely.
understand that's really tough. So speaking of that, I know you did another thing this year with wedding gowns, that somebody went out of business and gave you these wedding gowns, and then you sold them.
Yes.
So talk about that, because they were beautiful wedding gowns.
Yes, we had a bridal shop that closed up, I think December of 2019, and gave us their entire stock of beautiful wedding gowns. Some of them were $1,000, some of them were $3,000. They're all brand new. And of course, then COVID shut us down from doing anything with them. So they were put in what I call cold storage, which is our conference room at the Merritt Island Adoption Center.
Right.
And we had about 80 of them. And we did this little $99 brand new wedding gown sale at the Rockledge Country Club a couple of Sundays ago, and sold a portion of them because we know that COVID has been tough financially on everyone. And we made about 12 new brides very happy because they got
bet.
these beautiful dresses. So I still have about 68 dresses if anybody out there is looking for a beautiful gown. I mean, some of them are so elaborately
gorgeous,
beaded
yeah.
with long trains. Some of them are very plain. And then there are those in between that I call princess dresses. I love those with off the shoulder, and it looks like, you're a little princess.
And how can somebody contact you to buy those? Because we went back there when we were grabbing the table. I'm like, what is this room? These dresses were amazing.
He's
So
pre-planning for his daughters, I think.
well, I might have to buy like 5 now, because that'll still be cheaper than I'll have to
right.
spend. Hopefully
Absolutely.
10 more years or 20 more years before that happens. But
Yeah, we can always be reached at brevardhumanesociety.org.
Okay.
That's our website, and that has everything on it. I could give you phone numbers and all,
Yeah.
but that's pretty much the easiest way to find it.
Now, the other service that you also provide is a veterinarian service, so that people can bring their pets in and get their wellness check and get their
Absolutely.
shots. And so
Yes.
talk about that, because people are not aware of that.
Oh, well, you remember me telling you in the beginning about us, doing things to remove excuses from people adopting. Well, that was one of them, that, it costs so much to take care of a pet and I just can't afford it. Well, our low-cost spay, neuter, and wellness clinic has removed that excuse.
Wow.
Because, and it is about 11 years old now, and if any of you cat lovers out there would like to help us reduce that population, we actually have about $9,000 left of a free cat spay-neuter grant that we get from the state of Florida from the spay-neuter tag, which is beneficial. But the facility itself is awesome. It has spayed or neutered, I don't even know how many animals now, but we do wellness that keeps your pets healthy, and it is low cost. You can get, whether it be anything for your dog or your cat in HeartGuard or flea products. We do checkups to make sure that they stay healthy, give them their rabies shots and distemper and all of the other shots that they need at a low cost. And then, of course, spaying and neutering. On those days, we're very busy, and the prices are very much reduced. We call it high volume, high quality, low cost, because we do not cut corners, but the cost is a lot less than a full service vet's office because the animals are healthy and ready to go. And so when you do a large number of them, then of course it costs a lot less when you do them all at the same time.
Wow.
And our goal, of course, is to reduce the number of unwanted pets in our community. And I'm happy to say that in the 17 years I've been here, the number of animals that have overwhelmed our county shelter, they went from 15,000 down to like a few hundred. And I'm just really excited about Brevard County being what we coin as a no-kill county. Anything under 5% or 10% is considered no-kill now. So we closed our books last year with a 98% live release rate. There's always a few that come in that have a health issue or a mental, physical or mental issue that unless you are God, you can't fix.
Yeah.
So you have to help them cross the rainbow bridge. But when you can adopt out every healthy adoptable, and like I said earlier, we're doing that with other states. I mean, even Puerto Rico. So we're able to help others to reduce their kill rate as well.
Do you ever get people that are visiting here that like they're here maybe from Orlando or Daytona or whatnot that come in and maybe adopt?
Absolutely. I think the furthest away there was a couple that came in. They had gone on a cruise, and they had like a week before they flew back to Germany, and they came in our shelter and they fell in love with, I call them hush puppy dogs. I don't really remember what their breed is, but they have the long ears and they're low to the ground, the low riders. And we had one in our shelter. I think someone had adopted it at Petland and paid $3,000 for it, and then found out that it wouldn't run, chase the ball, and play with their kids. So that, then they, bring it to us, and we're like, wow, okay. So we adopted it out to a German couple who got a plane ticket for the dog and took it back to Germany with them.
It's now an international dog.
Yes, it is, and it is so happy. They send us pictures every once in a while. I got to tell you, it's really cool.
I didn't even know you could buy a plane ticket for your dog. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Nowadays they don't get put underneath in the berth. They ride with you.
Neat.
That's pretty, well, that's that middle seat, so you want to have a little bit more room. You're buying a seat. I'm just buying it for my dog. Don't worry.
And people who travel also, if they travel with their pet, they have to get a certificate from a veterinarian so that they can, say that it's a health certificate.
Right, so that it's had its shots and it's all up to date.
And we do that as well at our low-cost spay, neuter, and wellness clinic.
Wow.
I love the spaying and neutering thing because I grew up learning every single day the importance of spaying and neutering your pets from my buddy Bob Barker at the end of The Price is Right.
I love
and
Bob Barker.
It's stuck, it stuck with me all these years, and it's cool that you guys are doing that, to help people out with the cost.
Yeah, it's very, very important, and we do specials all the time. Particularly right before hurricane season, we offer discounts on microchipping. I mean, it's $25 to microchip your pet, and it lasts past their lifetime. It doesn't go bad. And it's important, especially after a hurricane when all the animals are collected and you're trying to find yours. It makes it easier for us to find you than you to find them. So I highly recommend microchipping. If you have a pet, like I have 2 cats, and people go, why are you getting them microchipped? You never let them outside. And I'm going, yeah, the one time they get out.
Yep, you're going to wish you had it.
Yes. And you're betting that it's good, that it's going to happen, even though
I see the signs every once in a while in my neighborhood, missing cat, missing dog, and it's like, if you had that microchip for $25, it'd be like a.
And I can tell you a really quick story about why microchips are so important, and this is a true story. I think it was in my second year with the Humane Society, and we had started doing microchipping, and a gentleman came in with his little black poodle and got it microchipped. He moved to Texas, and he came back a few years later. He was in a car accident on 95. Well, his dog, no, I guess they didn't know he had it. It ran off, and so he lost his dog. Well, apparently somebody found it in the Port St. John area, and they kept it. And 5 years later, it got out, and somebody found the dog and brought it to us. And we ran the microchip, and we're like, oh, this was one of our chips. And we called it, and it belonged to the guy who was living in Texas who never found his dog. He drove back to our shelter. It gives me goosebumps even talking about it. And that dog knew him. It was like 5 years later, but he got his dog back. It was such an awesome
I can't imagine how awesome
that would be. But it's because of that $25 microchip.
That is.
Yeah.
Do they ever make those like this is gonna sound weird, like GPS capabilities where you exactly?
They do have those types of things. They're different and more expensive, but
I could see that because like when your dog's like out, if you could just
Know where he's at.
right, you're like oh, he's in the woods back there. We actually just one of our followers just sent us a picture with their dog with some bunny ears, saying that they're coming to the surf event.
That's awesome.
How cute. Let me see that.
So
how
they're
cute.
anxious to be here in April for that.
We get a special permit because everybody should know that the city of Cocoa Beach doesn't allow dogs to just go roaming on the beach. They do have like early morning hours or late evening hours. So I don't want to encourage people to just go out there every day or whatever. But we do get special permitting, and we have special areas marked for it. No going on the dunes and things like that. And we respect, the turtles. So I don't want anybody listening to think, oh, I can just take my dog to Cocoa Beach now because it's pet friendly. Well, it's only pet friendly during that event, and we are raising money, so it's like $5 to bring your dog out. And
What a deal.
you can pre-register with
deal.
us or just come up the day of, absolutely, because it's a day of fun and frolicking, and we are doing dog surfing lessons. So if you have a
so
dog
cool.
and you would like to get in on that. Also, I'd like to mention the Mardi Gras coming up at the end of the month.
Paws in the park.
So it's Mardi Gras time. It's Mardi Paws time. So
love
on
that.
Saturday night, the people own the park, and on Sunday, it goes to the animals.
Nice.
It's a free
Nice.
event, but it is a lot of fun out in Riverfront Park in Cocoa Village on the 28th of February from 10 to 3. We do a pet parade. The King and Queen of Mardi Gras, which this year are the owners of the Village Idiot. They will be in attendance as part of the judging, and they'll be the grand marshals of the pet parade. And then we do crazy pet contests. So
I was just going to mention the crazy. You got to mention the crazy pet. That's
Yeah.
so good.
especially the owner pet look-alike. That is just
Oh my
hysterically funny.
And it is amazing how many people look like their pets.
It is. And then, of course, the best outfit, and then the king and queen of Mardi Paws. So at the end, we take pictures of the king and queen of Mardi Paws with the king and queen of Mardi Gras.
There you go.
Are you still
great.
doing the Paws and Pints?
Of course, we're not able to do it
Right.
last year because of COVID. We're hoping that the port is operational. September is the last that I heard that they would be fully operational. So we would like to be doing Paws and Pints
a fun
in
one.
November
Yeah.
of this year. Yeah, the port is really an awesome place for interactions and lots of green space, and the animals love it. So I am hoping we'll be able to do that, but we're not sure yet.
Your events are a lot of fun, though. You put a lot of thought into it, a lot of activities, and you just do a really, really, really great job. And that's why the community, I think, rallies behind you because they just see your heart in everything. You know?
Well, I appreciate it. Of course,
Yeah.
now on the 28th, everyone will be expected to wear masks. Not the animals, 'cause, they're okay. But we are spreading things out a little bit for social distancing as well as having hand sanitizer. The city of Cocoa does have a mandate for mask wearing, which I love personally because I'm just not into the COVID thing. So everybody should feel comfortable coming out and safe because we will be monitoring that as well. And it's a
great.
free event, so people can come out. We have silent auctions and all kinds of vendors and foods and things like that they can get into.
I love it. There's so many fun things to do in the area, and now it's like fun things to do with your pet. So it's inclusive. Your whole family can come out and
Yeah.
attend these events.
It's the lure course that we have to keep an eye on because dogs, they'll chase that lure until they drop over, and we're like, okay, your turn's up, and they're like, but my dog wants to keep chasing him. We're like, yeah, let's give him a little break. But it's all fun. It's all fun.
Well, Theresa, thank you for taking the time and to show us this place and that we can introduce to everybody that your new Bed and Biscuit is going to be open, and that we look forward to seeing. It's going to be very successful.
Well, I'm looking forward to it because there's one less excuse out there not to have a pet of your own.
That's right.
I have to tell you though that I was that guy.
were you?
I was the excuse guy. I always felt that I worked too much, that I didn't have time to dedicate to an animal. And I love animals. I grew up with them. But in October, after 2 years of my daughter asking, we got a bunny, a pet bunny. We brought it into the house. And, the first, she loved it, and it was great. But after 3 months, I think you had mentioned the 3 month time, it just became our family. Like, it was the greatest thing. So, you guys, there is time. There is enough time. There is no excuse anymore. Like, I'm converted.
And you can litter box train a rabbit.
Oh, ours was absolutely litter box.
Awesome.
It would go in and it was great. It was fantastic pet.
Because I have two at the shelter, and they are both litter box trained, and they're looking for a new
Hint,
home.
hint.
Oh,
looking
hey.
for a home. There you go.
Talk to Emma
My
tonight.
cats trained me, actually. I'm probably the similar story. I've always been a dog guy. And I still love dogs. But my wife, for 5 years, was begging for a cat. And finally, I love my wife. I want to do anything for her that I can. And I said, all right, you know what? She deserves it. So I brought a cat home, Belle, beautiful cat. And it's her cat, but really became my cat. And then I feed her first thing in the morning. I give her treats, and
Is that why you got a second cat? Because that cat belonged to you?
Yeah, well, so when my daughter wanted her own cat, and so we got it's a Hemingway, right? I think we discussed earlier. She has 7 toes, the cutest little thing. She's got a wonky eye and a tail that is bent in half, the bone, like a bone deformity.
Oh, yeah.
The most beautiful cat that I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Cutest little thing.
Of course
And
she is.
she's
Everybody says they have
perfect.
the best
She's
looking
perfect.
cat.
She's perfect, and big paws.
And smartest, too.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
I can
So-
tell you the stories.
Yeah, and I'm with you though. Like, it was like, okay, you know what? All of these animals, if I had the room, I'd have 100 of them in my house. That's for sure.
And people can foster pets through you, too? Is that something that you
Absolutely.
offer? So
Yeah, we do get, especially the ones that are little babies. We have a itty bitty kitty committee that teaches you.
That's
We
close.
teach you how to take care of the little itty bitty kitties, but they go out into foster because we can't spay or neuter until they're 2 pounds, 2 months or 2 pounds old, whichever is
Okay.
the latter. And so we show people how to care for them. And then when they're big enough, they bring them back. We are perfect for people that love to have kittens in their house all the time, because we will take the ones as they're getting bigger away from you and give you new ones.
it's
to
like
play
leasing
with.
a car almost, right? You get the brand new one all the
We,
time.
There you go.
and better than that, we provide everything you need, from the litter to the box to all the
Oh, wow.
medication. We give it all the care, and then when it is time for the adoption, we have had some failed fosters because they end up adopting, and then we.
I was going to ask you, but that's gotta happen a lot, right? I would assume.
Yeah, about 50% of the time it does happen, but you never know how it goes, so it's hard to tell.
When we rescued our dog, Scooby, that was another one that my wife got me on. We went all the way out in the woods in San Mateo, and we rescued him, and it was, they said, hold the dog. And I said, no, I don't want to hold the dog, because I knew it would happen. I held the dog, and I said, all right, how much? And I got the dog. I mean,
of course you did.
so that's what happened. So I would imagine many of these people that I only want to foster for a while. I was like, okay, I'm keeping it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
They get to your heart.
They do.
And
They
they
get
do.
to your heart.
Fosters do get first dibs. So if somebody's fostering an animal, because we also foster out animals that have broken bones or that are whatever medically, or they just need a break from the shelter. So if somebody falls in love with one of their fosters, they get first dibs on adopting because, hey, they put the time in.
Sure,
so
yeah.
why not?
They did the work. Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, guys, if you're coming here to the Space Coast and you're visiting the area and you want to bring your pet, you can bring your pet over here to the Bed and Biscuit. But of course, we want you to stay at the hotel, at the Beachside Hotel and Suites, which is just down the road in Cocoa Beach. Michelle Martindale is their sales director. She is great. She's willing to help anybody with anything.
And she's a pet lover. She's got a dog.
Yes,
She's
she
got a
is.
dog. Yes, she does.
Right.
And as we all know, with the Super Bowl coming up, everybody's going to be over there at the
Duck Dive Bar.
Duck Dive
Duck Dive,
Bar,
yes.
watching the
And the
watching-
lazy
that
river
lazy
is heated,
river.
right? It's
Yes,
heated so
it's
that you can
heated.
come in and this, the weather's getting warmer now.
I was gonna say the weather's perfect. I don't even think
Yeah,
it
it
needs
really
to be
is.
heated.
Oh,
but
I didn't know
get-
it was heated.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
Get,
I like
get-
it better.
Get in Duck Dive Bar, watch the football games this weekend. The food there is amazing. The beer is cold. I mean, it's a great hotel.
Yep.
And your animals can be right
Yep.
here
Yep.
at the Bed and Biscuit.
And if you
be
have a
comfortable.
pet, you can keep it with you in the hotel because they are pet friendly. She's already been over here
Yeah.
and seen this. And,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And then that
Yeah.
area they have outside the duck dive area is perfect. It's green space for the pet to hang out, so they could sit outside and still see the game and get some good,
And-
good
and
food.
have-
They
Well,
have
also, if
great
you're
food.
coming for the the dog surfing contest, you can
Yes,
stay at
you
the,
can
at the
stay
hotel
there.
there, and
Right.
it's great too.
Yeah.
And they're a great partner, and we love working with them too. And again, very pet friendly, so it's great for the whole family. can
And we
come
asked
visit
them
the
that if you
Space
want to
Coast.
go look at the pictures that they have of their lazy river and of the rooms and the great decor that they have, you can go to the Beachside Hotel, CocoBeach.com, and check it out. So
Yeah, because they're going to be one of our host hotels for the dog surfing.
Oh, perfect.
So people that want to come and stay there, they're right down the road. So it is a perfect setup.
So I mean, they're the hotel of champions.
They
then
really
you know
are.
the
Yeah.
Well, you know what? And it's I think that's a testament to Michelle as well because she's very involved with MAC.
Yeah.
Military Affairs Council, and Theresa, you've always been very involved in this community. Again, with it, I think we have some amazing community partners, and you guys have just brought some incredible things to the forefront. So thank you for that.
We
Well,
hear
and-
it every time on the show, right? That this area, the biggest attraction is the people.
Yep.
And that's one thing we hear. Look, we have the space program, which is amazing. We have the beaches, which are amazing. But every show, I think we've talked about, the thing that gets people to come here and come back is because of the people.
That's what.
And we have some amazing people, and you're certainly one of them. And thank you for everything that you do for our entire area.
Absolutely. And speaking of the Beachside Hotel, next week we are going to be there at the Beachside Hotel. We'll be there live with Brian Lilly, who brings in two major air shows here, one in Melbourne and one in Cocoa Beach. And we're going to talk to Brian about what's going to happen with the air shows that we have coming up. So that'll be another great conversation that we'll have.
I know our friends over at Valiant Air Command are taking part in the Cocoa Beach one, so
Yeah.
they're going to have their planes flying and that, which is it's a really cool event too to get to watch. And
It'll be good to hear. It'll be good. It'll be good. So what else is going on? What's everybody doing this weekend?
Yeah, we were actually talking about going over. I mentioned the Valiant Air Command. I talked with Bob Boswell, who's one of our partners and everything, and I brought my kids there. They had an open house a couple months ago, but we didn't get to stay the whole time. It was a little chilly in December, so we're planning on going over there. The movie Top Gun is coming out this summer, and I want to make sure that the kids are ready for the movie.
Brought up to date so that
oh
they
man,
know
that
what's
place
going
is
on.
awesome. They get to see the planes and all
Well,
that
that's
kind of
very
stuff.
cool. That's very good. What about you, John?
Well, I'll tell you, the one of the great things about living on the Space Coast is we also know that Orlando is only 45, 45 minutes away.
Right.
So I'm actually where the kids and I are going to be going to the theme parks this weekend, which
Very
is
good.
going to be fun. Get them out a little bit and stretch their legs, and I mean that way, especially the little guy, he goes to sleep real quick when we do that.
Yeah,
So
that's
That
always
is a good thing.
I'm going to be doing that on Saturday,
It's a
and
win-win.
Sunday I'll be hanging here on the beach.
Good. Okay.
There's a big football game too this Sunday that
Yeah.
I'll probably be watching.
That's it.
definitely
How about
be
you,
watching
Therese?
that.
You got any plans this weekend?
Well, actually, I am part of the City of Coco's Citizens Academy, and we're going to visit the fire department. So I'm going to get the inside scoop on how the City of Coco's fire department operates. I'm really excited about that one. And then there's one coming up with the police department. So anybody that's interested in how the City of Cocoa operates, it's a really cool program that they do. It's free.
That's awesome.
It just gives you insight on what's happening in your city.
Do you get to get in a truck?
I'm not sure yet.
Do you get to shoot the fire hose? Really? I mean, that's where we're
And
at.
honk
Like,
the horn.
They might let us sit in it. I'm
I
not
remember
sure
I-
yet, but
Picture-
it would be
picture
fun.
Come on,
photo
Therese.
op.
Hey, I want a hat.
my
Give me the hat.
kids did the field trip to the fire department one time with school. I think it was like second grade or something, and they all got to line up and do the hose. And I'm like, do I get to do that? They're like, no, it's only for the kids. I'm like, no.
Well, they're
I
going
don't
to give
get
us
to
a
do
good behind the scenes, which I'm excited about. And this program runs once a year, and they have like 15 spots. And actually, I'm in the class with Ron Chabot.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
So it's really very interesting, and we've really enjoyed it, especially if you go out to the Dial water plant. I mean, where all the water from Brevard County comes from. That might be a future
Really?
podcast for you. Oh my God,
That'd be interesting to learn about that. Yeah.
History is very interesting. But anyway, I know it
Great.
doesn't have anything to do with tourism, but tourists need water too.
But
True.
the one
True,
last thing we
Theresa.
do like to ask of every guest is, because this show is tourism based and it's about people coming to our area and what they can do when they're here, we like to ask our guests what you like to do in your spare time when you're not working. What do you like to do in the area? Like, where do you spend your time?
Oh, I spend my time mostly out in Port Canaveral.
Okay, and Port Canaveral is beautiful.
I love going out there. Jetty Park is beautiful. We like camping.
Sure.
And then there's always fish lips.
Yes.
They have a really great. Can I say that?
You know, please. You know, we want to know what you like to do, because the guests that are coming to the area,
They always wanna know
when
what
they
a
want to know
local
what a
does.
local likes to do. So yeah, feel free, whatever your favorite thing.
So Fish Lips has the best Sunday brunch. Let me tell you what, the mimosas. Oh, yeah,
Mimosas.
that is a great relaxer. You know,
I like mimosas.
You go, and they have been extremely wonderful when it comes to the COVID awareness and masking, and I always have felt comfortable.
Yep.
They social distance.
They do a great job.
So I really enjoy it, and just the whole Cove area. They have the green space, and it's all friendly. It's pet friendly. It's people friendly. All of the different restaurants out there, they all offer, quite a variety of things. And so for me, if I go local, I like going out to Port Canaveral.
That's a
I
great
love
spot.
it. And now the SpaceX rocket booster has been coming back. I mean, they're shooting that rocket up
Yeah.
almost every other week. So
You see it
it's
hanging?
in the port and it's just
Yeah.
hanging there. So if you're sitting outside at Fish Lips or any of the restaurants there in the port, Rusty's or whatever, you can see right across the street is this SpaceX booster. And I live here
cool.
and I see it and I still get stoked about it. I can't imagine seeing it for the first time.
Every time we turn around, this is like we have a rocket launch. We had one the other night. I think it went off like at 1 or 1:30 in the morning. Woke me out of a sleep or whatever because the house was, the windows were rattling and everything. But you forget. It's really important. We want our visitors to know, hey, be aware, because we have so many rocket launches going, and our next one, I believe, is on Sunday
I
morning.
was going to say, there's
Yeah.
still time. If
Yeah.
you're listening,
Yeah.
book your plane
Sunday,
ticket, get down
yeah.
here, make your reservations at Beachside Hotel and Suites.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you could see the rocket launch just like at 5. I'm trying to pull it up now at 5 something in the morning.
I was going to say
Yeah.
it's a really early
It
one.
is.
But
gonna
when
be
it's
early.
dark out, those are, we
yeah.
always talk about
it's
the night launches, but
beautiful.
the morning ones are just as good.
Yeah.
When it's dark
Gorgeous.
out, the whole sky lights up. It really
Yeah.
is beautiful. So
is.
definitely come over and check it out. But Theresa, thank you very
Yeah,
much
thank you,
for
Theresa.
joining us and enlightening us on all the stuff that
Yeah.
I've heard the Brevard Humane Society, and I knew, all right, this is where I can adopt a pet, and this is where but I did not realize all the other stuff that you taught us about today. So thank you for teaching us in this educational experience today.
Well, thank you for having me, and anybody that wants any more information, because there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we do that you just really wouldn't have time to listen to. You can always go to brevardhumanesociety.org and pick it up. And people out there that are in need of pet food, that's the last excuse that I have managed to get rid of. We now are also a food bank for people. They can just come in and we'll give them pet food if they need it, if they're hard on their luck. So
Yeah, well, that's good.
there's my last little
That's
zinger in
nice.
there.
And one more time, guys, if you're looking for a wedding dress or somebody getting
Yeah.
married,
That's right.
$100.
95, wasn't it? Or 99?
$99.
$99.
$99. It's a
$99.
donation. It's for a good cause. And these are $3,000 dresses back there that are absolutely beautiful and brand new. Guys, I can't specify that. $100.
You have any
You're
peak
getting-
size that maybe you can model some?
I do have some 16s. Hey, my
Oh, yeah, we'll try. Dennis Rodman did it, right? Next podcast,
it's a
I
good
might marry
cause, Pete.
myself.
It's a good cause.
No, it really is. But yeah, again, $100, $99 for a wedding dress. That's a great opportunity, and it's for a great cause.
And it's
so
for a great
definitely
cause.
check it out.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, so we all will be back next week with Brian Lilly, and we will see you next week.
See you next week, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, thank you for listening to the 321 Liftoff podcast. I'm Promo Pete, and thank you again, Bonnie King. We had a great episode. Be sure to check us out every week. And if you want more information, visit spacecoastfunguide.com or beldencommunications.com for everything that we're doing in the area. You can also check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/spacecoastfunguide for all the entertaining things to do in our area. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, take care.